Welcome to the Trill MBA Show. I'm your host, Felicia Ann Rose Enuha, aka the Trillest MBA you will ever know. And I'm here to help you survive and thrive in corporate America by giving you the truth and being as real as only I can be. I would say happy Sunday, but it's not going to be Sunday when this episode comes out because the episode's late. Oh, guys, how are you with the Rona? Everything going on? It's crazy. Of course, I don't have a very planned out episode. I do think about things and I think about what it is I want to share and help with. And remember, everything this show is about your mindset, tactics, or resources, right? That's the framework for this show. And so with that, normally I pre-produce everything and there's a lot of time and effort and energy that goes into that. But now with us who are fortunate enough to have the ability to work during this pandemic and be at home working during this pandemic, and we're fortunate enough to have a home. We're fortunate enough to have a job. First, I want to say, yes, I'm very grateful. But I'm not going to sit here and deny that this shit is hard. And I ain't even got a spouse or a kid or nothing, right? Like, I'm just getting on my own goddamn nerves. So, shout out to all the moms. I don't know how y'all do it. Like, I just don't know how you guys are not just killing people at this point. And please don't kill anybody. This is stressful. And I just want to take a moment to acknowledge that. So if you are like me and you need a moment to breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Because this too shall pass. I know that for sure. I don't know anything else and I don't know much of much, right? I only know what I do know, which in comparison to all the things I don't know is very, very little. But I do know that this too shall pass. There'll be a day where we won't be wearing masks. We will roam freely again. We will brunch. We will brunch with our girls. We will have bottomless mimosas. We will get drunk. We will take Ubers. We will take afternoon naps after brunch. We'll get to hug each other again. It's coming, y'all. We gotta stay safe. In all this, though, I'm realizing some things about how I need to grow as somebody in this corporate space, in a place with a big company and lots of people. And, supposedly we all have one common goal, but for some reason it don't feel like it. There's a lot of challenges. I think for me, the biggest challenge or the biggest lesson, I won't say challenge, it's a lesson I learned this week, or kind of hit home. And it's funny because Tiffany and I, in the last episode with her about the Teddy Riley debacle, we talked about this, but it really hit home for me this week. You have to drive for clarity. And something that I had an epiphany is you also have to look at how your company used to operate in how they got information spread throughout the company. So for example, the company I am at, I realized spread information, or people got information that they needed to be, exceptionally proficient in their roles by hallway coffee chats and sidebars and drive-bys, because that's just the nature of the organization. And it's so funny because a lot of times we think, oh, we should be able to do our jobs from home. We should be able to work remote. But when your company culture has this innate way of getting information to people through sidebar conversations and the meetings after the meetings and the coffee chats and all this stuff, it blew my mind when I realized, like, holy crap, this is why it's hard to get clarity or hard to know what's going on. The way we used to function, we would all be around each other. We could huddle up. We could do this. We could do that. Quick here, quick 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, whatever. And it's so funny because I used to think, I'd be a lot more productive if I could just work from home and people couldn't just interrupt me every hour. And now I realize that those interruptions are actually impactful in a way I didn't realize or understand before having to work from home due to the Rona. And so I say all that to say, for you, the takeaway is, how is information flowing in your organization? How did it used to flow in your organization? And then you have to think through strategically how to use your relationship or build relationships to make sure that you're getting the information you need to do a good job. So for example, we have a huge customer meeting coming up in a couple of weeks. Now, normally in big companies like mine, and you have this huge company, there's one of your customers and, there's a partnership. It's more than just a customer. It's a partnership. Like, it's not like either party can get pissed off and say, go fuck yourself. We're taking our business somewhere else. Like, we in this thing and we in this thing together. My product brings you a lot of money. As a customer, you bring us a lot of money. Like, this has to be mutually beneficial for both of us to survive, right? That kind of customer. And so I'm responsible for pulling together the slides for my businesses that I own for this meeting. Now, normally in big companies, and there's a big, dog and pony show for your customers, there's a template. There's a certain way that the customer team wants to set up the story for the big customer because they own the relationship, blah, 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 blah. Child, when I tell you I've been trying to figure out what that's supposed to be all week. And I realized normally what would happen is we'd be in the office and people would be running around talking to each other. Hey, I just came out this meeting. Did you hear this? Da, 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 da. And we can't do that now. And that type of download consensus building is actually really important. So now I'm like, how do I get this information? How do I build this consensus without being in the office? Especially me being new, part of my building consensus is just figuring out who to go talk to. And that's so much easier than writing 50 million emails. Now that's what I have to do. I have to say, hey, I'm working on this, blah, blah, blah. Can you point me in this direction? Or, okay, then they point you to that person. Then now you got to write another email. Where it used to just kind of be like walk around the floor and have a couple conversations that might have took you 30 minutes or so. But then you'd know what you needed to do after that 30 minutes. You'd have a clearer direction or path. Whereas now I'm spending like an hour and a half between meetings, between calls, writing emails, and it actually feels like it's taking longer or it's harder to do. And I don't know if that's just a perception thing or if that's actually like a real issue. Like if it's actually like, oh, this is really how we work. And the new way we need to adapt is not happening because this is not how people actually work. So I say all that to say your takeaway is figure out if you're getting the best information flow, if the way information flows in your organization has been disrupted because you've changed how everybody works we're working through a global pandemic. And then make sure you drive for clarity, right? So make sure you hit these people up. Continue to set up coffee chats. And I'm telling y'all this, and I've been so terrible about setting up coffee chats since the Rona. I personally like to do coffee chats in person. It just feels better meeting people in person. But I can say I have had some of the most delightful and wonderful interactions virtually. So don't knock the virtual coffee chat. Just schedule them and do them. They are worth it. You know, I'm learning more about how to manage my weaknesses. So I'll be fully transparent with y'all. The type of work that I do requires a certain proficiency at what they call storytelling and building decks and slides. So I'm not a builder, I'm a refiner. I'm really, really good at taking somebody else's work and refining it. So much so, I have literally gotten my friends jobs because of their interview presentations that they built and I helped them refine. All right. So now that I know this about myself and I can articulate it, it's been a struggle, y'all. This for many years post MBA, this has been a struggle for me and something I've been very afraid of because I've always wondered, like, is this going to stop me from climbing? Because this isn't something I'm really good at. Like, I'm not good at making decks, especially decks that need to be done fast or things that need to be turned around quickly. Like, it just takes me longer than most people. And even still, like, I don't know if I'll ever in my life create a PowerPoint presentation where people would look at it and be like, oh, wow, this is so good. Like now I've had that reaction to other people's work. And when I tell y'all, I be working so hard, y'all. I be working so hard. And maybe as I get too caught up in the minutia of building slides that I don't focus on trying to make the best story possible first. Maybe that's what it is. Y'all, I'm really still trying to work through this aspect of my skill set. And I hate doing it. So that's the other thing that really makes it hard, right? When you hate doing something and you're not good at it and you have to do it as a part of your job. Now, the good thing is it's not like a huge, huge part of my job, but I think the deliverables are significant when they come up. And so this has really played with my self-esteem, though, in the past couple weeks. And I realized that. And the good thing is, like, my boss, y'all know, I've talked about Harriet. We have named her Harriet. She is Harriet. ADD side note, we were on a call this week and she has kids. So she had to pause to say something to her kids. And she got a little animated and she had us on mute. So I don't know what she said. But I told the other woman who's on the call, who's a Black woman, I said, Harriet is so Black. And I realized Harriet had earbuds in. I think she might have heard me, but I don't know. But she ain't said anything. So I don't know. But I really like her. She's so encouraging. She is real. She's the realest. And it doesn't, like, her directness, her feedback. It's kind of like, you know, when your mama be telling you about yourself, but like, you know, your mama right. So it's just like, you right. Like, as an adult, not as a teenager, but like as an adult and your parents, y'all are having a conversation, but it makes me want to do better. And it makes me want to be better. And it makes me want to work harder. And so for me, like, I realized, like, I have to have managers that like actually care and are actually human. In my one-on-one with Harriet this week, like, she just took a time and she was like, you know, I just want to be honest about how I'm feeling, how you're feeling. Like, I'm like, yeah, like, yeah. Like, I so appreciate this person. I thank God, because y'all, I have had some terrible. When I tell you my past bosses, and I hope they hear this, y'all were shit. Y'all were fucking shit. Not all of you, but most of you were the worst. Were the worst people managers. Like, you should not be managing people. You suck. That's how bad you were. You suck. And if you think I'm not talking about you, you're the one I'm talking about. God, there's so many horrible people managers. And you guys, this is the time. Oh my God, this is the time to keep it 100 with your managers about their shit. Like, this is the time, because at the end of the day, you can be like, I was stressed and the Rona, and it's just this time, so I apologize if my message and tone, if it wasn't quite, where it should have been. And, I hope you don't take this personally. And we all have to give each other grace right now. Yes. That all should come after you tell them, like, yo, I'm sick of you and this shit and it's bullshit. And I'm tired of your shenanigans. And I need you to get your shit together so I can get my shit together. And you trying to tell me about my shit, but I'm about to tell you about yours too. And how you not helping. And how you emailing me at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. Or you breaking all these boundaries. You texting me early in the morning. You asking me what's in my background. You asking me about what's in my personal house. You demanding my video on. Like, no. Now, mind you, them things y'all done told me. So I hope some of y'all can relate to that, because that's what I'm hearing. Like, some of y'all's managers have gone batshit crazy. Like, batshit crazy. And the thing is, I try to give myself grace. I try to give everybody grace, because we are all going through a pandemic. So, saying the pandemic isn't an excuse. Nothing is an excuse for anything. But goddamn, what you are going to do is you are going to give me some grace, and you're going to cut me some slack during this time, especially if I'm still doing my best to work my ass off. Especially if I'm still doing my best to work my ass off while I got these kids running wild. I can't teach them shit because I'm not a teacher. That's not what I went to school for. And now I've got to try to teach them shit. And they running around taking advantage. And poor babies, they confused. They're like, I don't know why I can't be at school with my friends like I was. I don't know why mommy and daddy are fighting. I don't know why I still ain't got no daddy. Listen, everybody's going through something right now. And that's going to affect us mentally, physically, emotionally. It's going to affect our work. It's going to affect our home life. Like, this whole thing impacts us all. And so if your manager is acting a fool, if you're not fortunate like I am right now, listen, y'all, I'm so happy right now. But if this ain't you, it's time you speak up. And it's time you say, look here, let me tell you something. Just straight up. Bust out some of that Black English vernacular on their ass. This is the time. Any other time, I would say, don't do it. Play the game. Be professional. Blah, 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 blah. Shit. All bets are off. All bets are off, my nigga. Like, this shit? Yeah, no. Because the last thing you need is your boss acting a fool on top of a pandemic. No. The answer is no. The word is no. If they call you, so here's the thing about boundaries. If you don't want that behavior, ignore the behavior. For example, your boss texts you at 7 o'clock in the morning. If you want your boss to stop texting you at 7 o'clock in the morning, stop answering. Oh, but Felicia, I can't do that because why? Why can't you do that? Answer at 9, answer at 10, answer when you can. Because they don't know your situation. They don't know what you got going on. You owe them your work to do the business, make the business run, make the company money. You don't owe them 24 hours a day of your life. You get paid for 40 hours a week. How many of y'all working way more than 40 hours a week now because you at home and you don't have no way to separate this shit? So it just bleeds in and bleeds in. And next thing you know, you waking up Saturday morning, you waking up Sunday morning, and then there was no weekend. It was just another day. And it feels like Groundhog Day. And you just going. Nigga, stop.
Hammer time.
Listen, I know some people are like, well, I don't want to take PTO right now because I'm what am I doing? Where am I going? I want to use my vacation for my take the PTO. Take the time off, even if it's just for you to lay in bed all day one day. Like, this shit is crazy. So you got to take care of yourself and you got to put yourself first. And I don't give a fuck what your boss say. Fuck that shit. Put yourself first. Because guess what? You can't get another life. You can get another job. And I know everybody like, well, you know, it's a job market, blah, blah, and unemployment and blah, blah, blah. Listen, I've already had 2 or 3 people I know starting new jobs this month. So one pony don't stop no show, y'all. Okay? All right. Well, listen, I ain't gonna hold y'all too long because shit, I'm about to go take a nap. But I want y'all to know I love y'all. Thank y'all for listening to the show. Thank y'all for holding it down. Thank you for, all the things that you're doing to help your fellow man. One thing I encourage you to do, I don't know about y'all, but if you grew up poor, and not poor, but po, P-O, po, then there might have been some times you were at the grocery store and your mama was like, okay, we only got this much money to buy groceries. And so, you trying to get all the good snacks and put the name brand shit in the basket and shit, right? So you done put shit in the basket. She ain't tell you to, but you did anyway because you like, I want this. And then, of course, you look with them puppy dog eyes, Mama, can we have it? And then they feel bad and they're like, okay, well, we'll see when we get up here. And then you go through that embarrassing ass exercise of realizing you done put too much shit in the cart and now you over budget and you ain't got no money. Y'all, if y'all see that and you got it, buy that mama's groceries. I'm telling you, bless your whole soul. Because even if somebody didn't do that for you, your mama ever, do it. Next time you're in the store, do it. It's the best thing ever. And if you can, get some cash back and get that mama that cash. Just do it. All right, y'all. Try to help each other. Try to love on each other. Try not to kill each other. Try not to cuss somebody out too bad. Because, sometimes. So my little cousin, he was on the show talking about his internship last year. So he's staying with me until he finishes school. This is his last semester. And this little nigga decided he was going to fry some chicken. Now, he done fried some chicken before and it didn't cause all this smoke and stuff in my house. But y'all, I don't know what he did, but I don't know if the fire was too high when he put the first piece of chicken in or what. And then he likes to over season his shit. I don't eat his food. That's his food. He's old enough. He can do what he want. But y'all, when I tell y'all, the spices burning in the oil or something and smoking, y'all thought I was going to die. My eyes were burning. It was as if somebody sprayed pepper spray in my face. That's what it felt like. And I was like, because I went in my room. I went in my room and laid down and my eyes were still burning. And I felt like I was choking. And I was just like, I texted him. I was like, look here, we're going to have to revisit this frying chicken shit because we can't have this no more. This and that. And then he tried to be smart and funny. I told him, I said, don't patronize me. And then he was like, I apologize. That's what I thought. Don't make me kill you. So y'all pray for me. Because I don't know if you remember how dumb you were at 21 years old, but I remember how dumb I was. And so I'm just like, oh, I was this dumb. Lord Jesus, help us all. So hang in there, whatever your situation is. It's going to be all right. If you fry chicken, open a window or a door. That would be helpful. So with that, as always, you can reach out to me, ask@trillandba.com. If you need advice, I check the email. You can hit me up on all the socials at TrillNBA Show. At TrillNBA Show is all the handles. You know, if you really in a pickle and you need to talk, set up time, go to TrillNBA.com/coaching. You can set up, let's just be real, it's an hour. I say 30 minutes, but it's an hour. Because I really want to make sure I'm helpful. And so those calls are $40. Now, let me tell you what I do with that $40. To produce this show every month, it costs a little over $2,000. And I clearly don't have any advertisements. Y'all, you can hear that in the show. So those calls go to offset that cost to me every month for producing the show. And until I get business savvy with the show and figure out how to make this shit really pop, this is what we're doing right now. You know, again, give myself grace, right? Gotta follow my own advice. So with that said, if y'all need anything, hit me up. And, just stay safe. Don't be fooled by these politicians. They on some bullshit. Just protect yourself, protect your family, and just love people because every day is not promised. I'm grateful to y'all, and I want y'all to have a great week, and I'll holler at y'all next time. Keep it true. The Trill NBA Show is a Fair World Corp. LLC production. Executive produced by Felicia and Rose Inuha. Sound design and editing by Chris Mann with Podshaper. Theme music is Kick Push by Ryan Little. Keep it trill every day, y'all.